Hey everyone, Dragon here. Uh, been doing a lot of grinding on the Drakania, and I get a lot of questions about how I'm grinding so fast, how my movement's so fast. There's a lot of comments about how when they play Drakania, it doesn't feel that quick, or people say it's really slow, or people just generally don't understand what's happening with Drakania. So I wanted to be someone to reach out and kind of make a guide for everybody. I haven't seen anything in about 2 months be posted as far as how these are gonna do rotations, all that fun stuff. So I just figured I'd do a very quick, no BS type of guide. Try not to take up too much of your time to get you on par with farming. So after doing a lot of research and studying the class, my trees, solo trees trash went from about 7k an hour to 12 to 13k an hour without Agris. So I'm gonna just share some stuff I know, and feel free to stop by the stream sometime, guys. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and cover basic movement tips. So you're gonna have three movement types. You have your normal sidestep that almost every class has. You have your dash, and then you have also an additional slide. So one of your movement combos, real simple, just kind of help you get around. Dash into a sidestep into your slide. Now the lesser known movement combo is going to be Dragon's Advance, actually into Eviscerate. Now, what I don't see a lot of information on is the combo for Eviscerate in Dragon's Advance. If you take the time to read this, you can get an insane amount of movement going. Now, one thing this does not actually inform you about when you're reading on it is the fact that you can use your dash. That's not the right dash, sorry. Um, I don't know where the dash is in here. Oh, here we go. Uh, Mark Thanon's wings in between Dragon's Advance and Eviscerate to travel a very far distance. So this is what that's gonna look like. So if you combine that with your general movement, it does not take you long to get through pack to pack, as you can see. So that's your basic movement on the Drak. All right, next up, a big thing a lot of people are confused about with the Drak are her buffs as well. So she has quite a few decent buffs and one unique buff. So right off the bat, anytime you hold Q for longer than a second, you are going to get a flat DP buff. So a lot of the times while I'm grinding, while I'm waiting for the mobs to group up, I will go ahead and just hold that, get a little bit of DP. The next buff would be her class buff. All AP, and accuracy and attack speed. Now, what a big thing people kind of miss on this is it's going to absolutely stockpile your ion shards through the roof. So while you're running on this buff, it's going to take probably 10 to 15 seconds of moving around and attacking and spending ions before you're going to have to build them back up again. Excuse me. So it's basically a free ion spender on top of damage and attack speed. The third buff I use is Abyssal Advance. It's just basically a critical rate buff and movement speed buff. But also, it's a good way to recover health after your passive for ions will heal you. And for anybody who's not familiar with it, anytime you use a spell or attack that actually consumes ions, you will recover health. So, just mid farm, if you're about to die and you use Brine Bolt Strike, you're going to shoot back up to half health. It's actually really strong for grind spots when you're soloing. And then for the third buff, is actually pretty unknown, is Shattered Dragon's Malice. What this is, to be brief, is basically the Drakania exclusive church buffs. Except we don't have to leave our grind spot to go get them. All you do is you take 15 dragon scale fossils and you melt them down using heating in the processing menu. That's the Black Spirit. You would use heating, and you can melt 15 of those fossils down into the Shattered Dragon's Malice. Now, you cannot stack that with church buffs, but you can do Shattered Dragons into Villa buffs, into Kron, into Drought, into, Fugitive Calcs if you want. You can do all that, you just can't stack actual church buffs on top of it. Alright, for the next part, we're going to do skill add-ons. I'm just going to leave this up for a couple seconds for you guys to look at. This is what I'm currently using. It's a mix of things for PvP and PvE, but overall, it's probably the most well-rounded skill add-on setup I have. I haven't really found any that are better for me. However, really the main ones you want is Strike, Raise, Blazing Strike, and Omni Slash. Abyssal Fang, I do recommend this setup. Feel free to play around with it. But the critical hit damage and back attack is just very strong for a skill we are using a lot. And then for our other skill enhancements, we have Mark Thanon's Fang and Dragon's Assault. The Fang is just a very nice, quick way to regen energy. When you get to the higher grind spots, Skewer is not going to be enough to keep you up all the time. You're going to be spending like crazy. So, all the Fang does is it's a very quick way to just tap it and get some energy back. As far as Dragon's Assault, there's two parts. It's one in a movement, but also it has an animation cancel associated with it, which we're going to get into next. Alright, so for the last part of this video, we're going to go into two subjects at once. One is the Ion Shard system, and two animation cancels. So first and foremost, if you do not have your Succession questline done, you will not be able to build and spend Ions. You just cannot do it. But, if you're all good with Succession, this is all you need to know. You have 3 Ion building abilities. Skewer, which is just the right-click version. You don't need to do the flow. It will build up 3 Ions for you. You have Abyssal Fang, which is your E, which will build 6 Ions for you. And then you have Omni Slash, which will build 3. That is it. So it's going to be your right-click, your E, and your forward right-click. Now, a couple of nice little cancels and animation cancels you can do with this is you can do Omni Slash and then cancel the Brine Bolt Raise, which is your forward right click. I'm sorry, I messed up slash and raise. Slash is your S left click, raise is your forward right click. So if you do it, you can cancel both. Oh, it was on cooldown. Sorry. But you can cancel your raise just by following it up. Starting with slash, you can cancel your raise. The second one is you can do skewer into your flow and then come out of it with an Abyssal Fang. And that's going to build up 9 Ions for you right off the bat. So those are your tricks for Ion building. Now for Ion spending, you can actually mouse over this and it will tell you. Mark Thanon's Flourish, Blazing Strike, Eviscerate, and Brine Bolt Strike. Now there's actually 2 abilities here that are not listed on this meter, and this is what threw me off for a while. The 2 that are not listed are going to be Sundering and Prime Ascent. Now, these are very good spenders. These are the strongest abilities for farming, in my opinion. And it's just casting C. As you see, it just consumed my ions, and then down C, which is also going to consume ions. Very, very strong. Now, a lot of people don't like Ascent because of how long it takes to cast. So what I'm here to show you is a couple animation cancels. So that is the normal actual cast timer on that. There's two ways you can cancel it that I know of as of right now. One is coming out of Dragon's Assault when you land, or Mark Thanon's Flourish, which is your shift left Q. And pretty much what it does is it completely eliminates the wind-up time on Ascent. Which is just going to increase your speed that much more. Now, if you're someone like me who's farming at higher level places and you need a lot of damage quickly, like I farm trees, for example, you can actually triple animation cancel those three abilities. So once your buffs are running, kind of give you an idea, let's just say we're out here attacking, yada yada yada, and then we'll go ahead and use Flourish into Ascent into your Shift E, which is going to be, I believe, Dominion. So you can cancel Ascent into Dominion on the last hit. You can also do this with Dragon's Assault, which is why we have that ability, so for closing a large gap. Alright, so our cancel we're going to focus on here is Sunder and Claw, Brimebolt Strike, and Blazing Strike. If you learn how to cancel these, farming increases so much, I promise. So what we're going to do is actually use our, I believe it is Fiery Strike. No, it's Embers. We're going to use Embers as a cancel mechanism for our Sunder. So whatever ability you just did, let it be Omni/Raise. You're going to follow it up with F into C. Just get off that immediate cast on that. As far as Brine Bolt, or Blazing Strike, has a really long wind-up time. However, if you just add a little dash in front of it, it just immediately goes off. As you can see, it speeds it up quite a bit. And then for the last part, you can actually do the continuation of Brine Bolt Strike, do the flow, and then your Blazing Strike. And again, just kind of speeding up the process. So now I'm just going to kind of include clips of me farming to give you an idea of how fast it can be. And hopefully you guys found this useful. If you guys have any specific questions, please always feel free to stop by the stream, which I will make sure to have posted below. Thank you very much for watching. If Gen was still here, I would ask him to move to the other rotation. I feel like these guys spawn weird for me. But Gen went to sleep because I told him I was going to be AFK farming trees.